Hello everybody. We're going to do some review of the algebra worksheet. And Lizzie came and asked me, and lots of people have asked me.
Really?
And so,
Okay,
oh yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, you're not alone. These middle ones, I think the top ones most people get intuitively, but it's these middle ones, number 2, that are kind of trickly. So let's try them. So this is A equals V over T, yeah? So I'm going to write it like that, just so that it's a little more clear. And we want to solve for V. So we haven't really done this type yet, but what that means is we want the V to stay where it is, right? And we want this T to get out of here. So how do we get rid of the T? Yeah, very good. You multiply this here, and now you have T divided by T, which is 1. And 1 times V is still V, so that's what we want. Now if we multiply it there,
Do it the other side.
have to do the other side too. Okay. So we go like that, and we basically then can say that I wouldn't write T, I would write AT, but it's the same thing, T times A. If you wrote TA, that's fine, equals V, and that's your answer. And that's it. All there is to that one, okay? All right, now this one is a little bit trickier, right? We're gonna solve for this A in here. This is, I'm just gonna focus this, so it's, I'm gonna try to focus it. This is a formula that we're going to use a lot coming up in the acceleration unit. So we need to be able to do this. So what we want to do again is keep A here by itself, and we want to get rid of everything else. So what are we going to get rid of first? What do you think? I forget your name, I'm sorry.
Sienna.
Sienna is here too. She's not even in physics. She just, yeah. She just wants to be here to help. We have a plus here.
Yeah.
So are we going to get rid of all this stuff or the VT first? Good. We're going to get rid of this VT first. So we're going to subtract it because VT minus VT is
1, 0.
0. Anything minus itself is 0. So 0 plus all this is going to be all this, right? So this is going to be gone. But of course we have to subtract to the other side. I'm going to draw this over here now. And that's going to become D minus VT, because we subtracted that VT over. And we're just left with everything else. 1/2 AT squared. Okay, now here's a little trick. You probably all know how to get rid of this T squared. Just divide by T squared and over here, right? But how do we get rid of a half?
Divide by a half.
You could divide by a half,
And you're getting so mean.
which is the same as multiplying by, I don't remember.
Forgot.
I'll give you a hint. This is the same as this. Yes?
Yes.
1/2 times all this is the same as this divided by 2. So how would you get rid of that 2?
Multiply by 2.
Good. Yeah, you multiply by 2. So we times by 2 here, and if you think about it, it still works. 1/2 times 2 is 1, right? So that's what we want. We want 1 times all of this. So that's going to get rid of the 2. And we're also going to divide by T squared. So now we have to do that. I can't do it to just one term. So if I'm going to multiply this whole side of the equation by 2, I have to multiply this whole side of the equation by 2 as well. So I put my 2 here and divide everything by T squared. And then what I'm going to end up with here is 2 times D minus VT. Just write everything out as it is, and that's equal to A. You can do some stuff to this. You could separate these terms and go 2D over T squared minus 2VT over T squared. You could cancel out a T, and you could do some things with that. But this is good enough for now. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, what about this? Solve for the E. Oh, this is terrible, isn't it? So we're going to solve for this giant What's your first thought?
Get rid of the stuff on the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I would do too. Now you might be tempted to think, in this case, well, there's a plus here, so I should be subtracting something.
Yeah.
But because the term we're solving for is up here, and there's nothing being added in the top, I'm just going to multiply this whole denominator to the other side. So I can multiply everything up here by this denominator, which is m little r plus r. And these will all cancel out and become 1. And so that leaves my e alone. But of course, I have to do it to the other side too, as you know. So that's going to simplify things. I'm just going to draw that down here. So that's going to give us nr plus r times c. And we're going to be left with little n in e. What's our last step?
Divide everything by n.
Good. So get rid of this n. N divided by n is 1. That leaves us with the e, but of course we have to do the same here. Divided by n.
You rewrite all of it again.
Yeah, and rewrite all of it again. nr plus r times c over little n equals e. Now again, we could expand this c, and then we could split these two terms into over. Is this an n? Yeah, that's a little n. We could expand this n to under this term and under that term. We could probably cancel an n if we wanted to, if it was useful. Depends what we want to use this for. But this is fine as it is, I think. So that's that. Okay, you do this one. Tell me what to do.
Okay, so you get rid of the stuff on the bottom by multiplying it all by e to the power of 2.
Very good.
And then do it to the other side.
Very good. So what do I end up with here?
So d2 in brackets
I'm
times.
just going to go over to here.
Yes.
So d squared f.
Yes. Wait, so you don't have to put it in a bracket? You could if you
No,
want to.
you don't have to. In this case,
Yeah.
there's no addition in there or anything.
Yeah.
I probably would write. Would I write f d squared or d squared f? Let's stay with d squared f. It's okay.
And then you do mn.
Good.
And then you divide everything by m.
Good.
Both sides. And then you rewrite it again.
Rewrite it all out again. D squared f over m equals n.
Yay.
Good. Very good, Lizzie. Now, if you're going to get to the point where I encourage you to write all these steps out. It's probably going to look like a lot of work and like arduous. I encourage you to get to the point where you look at this and instead of doing all those steps, you go, this is the guy I want. So instead of doing all this garbage, you go, I want this.
Yeah.
The f is going to stay there, and I'm going to multiply d squared, and I'm going to divide by m, and these are gone, and that equals n.
Okay.
And that's all you'll do.
Yeah.
But it'll take some practice to get to that point. You'll get a little bit faster at this, but for now, write out your steps, and that'll keep everything straight.
Would
Good.
you want us to show our steps?
I want you to be able to show your steps, yes. So on a test, when you have not much time, if you can do it this way, that's great.
Okay.
You don't have to show me every step of the formula manipulation. But for now, to keep yourself from going too fast and making mistakes, it's probably best if you write them out for now.
Okay, yeah.
And then as you practice, you'll get faster at it,
Yes.
and it'll happen quick.
Cool.
Cool, good. Hopefully helpful.
Yes.
Physics 11 kids.
Yes.
Love you guys.